Hey everybody, Ethan here from WordTech, back with another video for you guys. Not a full review or anything like that. It's mostly just going to be a channel update as well as a little bit of a teaser for some upcoming content that we have going on. But before any of that, I'm going to go ahead and talk about all the channel stuff, website stuff, etc. that's happening. Now, those of you that have been watching us for a long time probably are noticing that there's content coming back, and some of you are maybe new here and don't know that we haven't really done much over the last year and a half or so, and all of a sudden stuff has started popping up every week again, and I just wanted to make a channel update to address that for everybody and let you all know that I am back. We are back. The channel is back. So first things first that I'll start off with, because one of our more popular series is Wordcast, which is our podcast that we do, and it's a tech podcast. We used to do it every week. That one we haven't done in like a year and 8 months or something like that, except for CES, which happened just recently. I'll make sure to throw that up in the corner up here. But I wanted to address that we do plan to continue doing Wordcast. It just isn't going to be every week anymore. It's really hard to find time for that, mostly to find time to edit a 3 hours worth of footage segment and then render that out and get that up in a timely manner, because it's tech news content, so I can't wait 2 or 3 weeks to put that together like I do with some other videos where there's projects and stuff going on. And like many of you that have been watching know that I have one of my projects for one of my servers going on, and part 2 is coming, I promise, but it's not something that is of a time importance, right? Versus Wordcast is really a super important, super time critical. So that's something we're still going to do, but it's going to be at least once a month. If not, we're going to try and do every 2 weeks. That's kind of the goal we're aiming for, but it just depends on the way content flows out. Sometimes there's not going to be time for that, and there will be time for other videos, but the hope is to do it every 2 weeks, and 100%, no matter what, you will see one after big events like Mobile World Congress, CES, Computex, and all the other fun ones like that. No matter what, even if there was one just a week before that because we were sticking with the schedule or whatever, we will have continued coverage of all those big events, because frankly, I think they're pretty important. So that's what's happening with Wordcast. Now, the rest of the channel and what we're doing with the rest of the videos is also good news. So we're going to be posting videos every Monday. You'll mostly just see me in those videos. Now, sometimes those will be Wordcast, so that doesn't mean that you'll have normal, like, project content or review content every Monday, but you will have something every Monday. That's the intention. It's possible that I miss one here and there, but the goal is to get at least 30 of them out this year, if not more. Aiming for more, obviously, and as time permits, potentially also doing Wordcast and a video on some of those weeks instead of just doing Wordcast for that main project. But editing that podcast takes a long time, and I prefer the style of editing it rather than trying to do it live. That's my preference, and that's what we've decided to go with, because otherwise it ends up being at like 9 or 10 p.m. Pacific time, and nobody's watching much content to that late Pacific time. Everybody else is already too late into the evening, so live just wasn't really working out for us back when we used to do that. Now, regarding the website, many of you, actually probably not very many of you, have seen the website. We used to post a lot of tech news. I used to post a lot of tech news on there, and the last thing that I posted was when Threadripper 2nd Gen came out, which obviously it's been a very long time since then. We already have Threadripper 3rd Gen. I already have content out on Threadripper 3rd Gen. Also, we'll throw that up there with my personal rig update in the corner for you guys. So it's been a while. I'm hoping to start posting stuff again, but we'll see how that goes. That's not something that I'm sitting on a set schedule for, because it takes a lot of time to put together those news posts, and we'll just see what I'm able to keep up with. But I want to start posting things again, and so you'll probably see some content flowing out there soon, and maybe some level of consistency throughout the year for that. But a lot of the big tech news topics, or conventions more so, like CES and stuff, that will all be covered in Wordcast, and very little or maybe even none of it will actually be articles on the site, because that'll all be covered in the podcast. So just something for you to keep in mind. News sites aren't doing as good as video sites, right? So it makes more sense to do stuff in video content if that's what I have time for anyway, rather than pulling away from potentially providing you guys content here on YouTube to do articles that are not going to probably be looked at as much. So that's what's going on with the website and the channel, which I also have plans to do a better intro for the channel. I have plans to do a better outro for the channel. We're going to be working on a new logo, other things like that. So there's more to come, but I wanted to make sure everybody knew about what the schedule is going to be. And then I also wanted to tease a little bit of upcoming content I have. So one of my server projects, which I will also throw up here, one of my server projects is Project Shut the mock-up, which is something I've worked on for a while, and I just took another step in it back in December, and I've done some content on that. So you guys will see that video fairly soon, so that's some content I have up and coming for you guys. I also, in theory, should be getting the FX Tech Pro 1 phone finally within the next couple of weeks. I'm very excited for that. There's been a lot of delays. For those of you that don't know about it, I'll throw a link in the description, but it's a full slide-out QWERTY Android phone. Pretty excited for that. I can't wait to get my hands on it and review it for you guys as well. I currently, many of you probably know, and some of you maybe don't, a BlackBerry because I like physical keyboards. I'm a keyboard snob, which is also represented by this. I'll get to that in a moment. So I will be doing a full review of that as well as an unboxing and stuff like that because I don't expect there to be a ton of content on it. And that's something I've aimed for the channel, is not doing too much content that's covered everywhere else, because then it never shows up in search results and stuff like that, and we just don't get the same kind of viewership on it. Whereas if I do a review of, say, a monitor, my most viewed video is an LG monitor, an ultra wide, which I still use. That is something that nobody else reviewed for whatever reason. That particular ultra wide monitor wasn't reviewed, and so it got lots of coverage, right? So that's the kind of stuff that I'm trying to aim for, is project work, server work, because there's not as much of that, and then reviews of products, but not products that are necessarily super popular, like a Galaxy S10 or Note 10 or whatever it may be. Anyway, now time to address, I guess, the elephant in the room, or whatever you'd like to call it. Is some of you probably don't know what this is. Some of you probably think you know what it is and you're wrong, and some of you probably actually know what it is. So this is something I'm super excited for, and I've been waiting a very long time for this. So this is a brand new Model F keyboard. Now, for those of you that don't know, among the keyboard crowd, the Model F is widely respected as one of the best, if not the best, keyboard ever made. Now, there are differing opinions on that. The Model M was more widespread, and so you can still get a hold of those very easily, and they're not very expensive. They're like 80 bucks to get a brand new Model M. But the Model F was considered better than that by pretty much everybody. And then there's other stuff like the IBM Beam Springs and stuff. But making those work with PC is kind of a pain in the butt, and they're really hard to get a hold of. Anyway, the point is, the Model F is a wonderful, wonderful keyboard that's been around for a very, very long time. And I've always wanted to get my hands on one, but they were really hard to find anywhere for even a semi-reasonable price that were also in semi-decent condition, because, you know, some of these are going on like 40 years old, right? So like they're getting pretty old, even for a keyboard, even for a mechanical keyboard. So there was a project that somebody started called Brand New Model F Keyboard. And I'll put a link in the description because they still have some for sale. I'd highly recommend you pick one up if you can. Yes, they're expensive. They're totally worth it. So they are manufactured in China, but they are identical replicas of the way IBM originally did it, down to the design of everything. And in my testing so far, not only is it absolutely incredible, and I'm so glad that I finally got a hold of one. I never had a chance to even type on a Model F. It is way better than the Model M. I don't know if you haven't tried a Model F back and forth with the Model M, it's a huge, huge, huge difference. The Model F just feels better, sounds better, everything about it's better. The response time feels better. I feel like I'd be happier gaming on it than I would with the Model M. So, you know, this isn't intended to be a full review by any means, but I just want to say what a great job that team did, or unfortunately, I don't know as much background as I can. There'll be more background in the review, I promise. But the guy that started this, thank you so much for doing this. I'm so sorry I'm flaking on your name. I can't believe how accurate of a replica it is, down to comparing the sound of it to the sound of original Model Fs. It sounds the same. Like it's so similar. You'd be forgiven for thinking it was from the original Model F production run, if you just sat with it for a minute. And even keyboard enthusiasts that are only moderate keyboard enthusiasts would be forgiven for running into the same thing. You've got to really know your stuff to realize that this is a different one. So just incredible job. Thank you so much for doing it. I've got some of the boxes, the parts and stuff here, extra keycaps that it came with and all that kind of stuff. I don't have the keyboard here right now, but you guys will see more of that in an upcoming review. I'll be doing an unboxing and a review, but I got to spend some time with it before I give you guys a full review to make sure everything works out long term with it. But it's incredible. So thank you for starting this project. I'm so blown away by how good of a job was done with this. And I mean, it took 5 years, but it was totally worth it. So anyway, guys, just make sure to stay tuned for all this upcoming content that I've got for you guys. It's some really good stuff. I'm really excited to be doing these videos again. It's been a long time, and I honestly miss doing it. I'm using DaVinci Resolve for my editing now, which is just a wonderful program. I finally was able to ditch the Adobe suite because I am sick of paying a monthly subscription for software that's unoptimized and crashes and doesn't work. DaVinci Resolve is amazing, so I finally picked up the full studio version of that and have been incredibly happy with it. And it just feels really good to be back in the game with all the tools that I've had this whole time for this kind of a project, and I haven't been doing the content that I want to do, so now I'm jumping into that. So thank you everybody for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know if there's anything in particular you'd like to see, especially those of you that have been watching the channel for a long time. Let me know if there's anything that you want me to follow up on, an older product that I have or something like that, or an older project that I talked about and never actually did, or whatever it may be. I would love to hear what you guys want to see, and I hope you all stick around to see what's coming next. Thank you everybody, and have a wonderful week, because this should be on a Monday. See you later.